What if falling short was an opportunity to grow as an individual? Now, you see that when you're young and hungry and you're continuously on the move, every single day you are just compounding. You're compounding, and you're feeling good. You're in alignment with yourself. Things are moving, but you burn out, you overdo it, you're overstimulated, you're drinking too much coffee, which actually just slaps you in the face. You fall back, and then you have to start that momentum once again. Now, I'm sure we've all been there. But what if that was actually your greatest asset? You know the compound, you know how to work in a relentless state, you're in alignment majority of the time, but somehow you just fall back. And I'm speaking from experience now, because we get to a position where we're peaking, and then it's like it either becomes all too much or we don't know when to rest. So we get to the point of fatigue where we burn out. We have to start that momentum once again. Life is in ups and downs, but instead of coming down, what we need to do is we need to maintain and slowly come back up. It's very important to learn to take a step back when you're at that point. Now, this doesn't mean throw in the towel or stop what you're doing. It's just getting to the point before you have to rebuild that momentum, because the momentum is actually vital for the success you're trying to obtain. And the only way you can fail is when you give up. And if you're continuously burning out, this causes you to be discouraged to actually continue, because it means that you have to create that momentum again. The same as with semen retention. Like, say if you're on a cycle, and unless you've actually broken the cycle, you will relate with me here. When you're on semen retention and you've gone a couple of weeks and then you break it, yeah, it does come with the mental shame, the isolation, the disconnection. But what happens is you're so determined to build that momentum back up. But what if you were in a position where you could actually transmute that energy and reposition it into a different place without you having to plateau, give into your lust, and having to start the cycle once again? Well, this is exactly what this video is about, because I need you to understand that falling back is not actually what you're going to do anymore, because we're going to reframe it and reposition our energy in order to move forward further and keep that continuation as we go to the upside. I want you to imagine that you're a picture on the wall. You're just a beautiful picture on the wall. And over time, what happens is it slowly expands. But what you're doing when you're putting the reps in and when you're building that momentum, you're refining and you're adding the detail. You're making sure that there's depth to each part as the picture expands. But the problem is you're only focused on the minor details, and you're only focused on slowly expanding this painting. Because there's so much detail, it just, you look at the picture and it's so distorted. And this is what happens when we fall back. How do we reframe this? What if someone came along and put a mirror on the opposite wall where the painting was? And what happens is you're looking at the mirror realizing that, wow, there's so much depth. There's so much vibrance. There's a bit of distortion, but oh my God, you make the realization that there's so much more canvas space for you to actually paint and design and put detail into different places. But without the mirror, you wouldn't be able to see this. And this is what I call 2 steps back, 10 steps forward. Because if we're always getting the inner perspective, then we'll never understand what we're truly capable of. And this is because we're too focused on the minor details, that when we've built so much compound, the painting just goes splat. So this is why it's important to be able to give yourself an opportunity to look in the mirror, right? Look in that mirror. Look at yourself. When you, just before the burnout, monitor how much work and how much output you can actually put out into your work, into the finer details before you're about to plateau. The reason we actually fatigue in life and we want to overstimulate ourselves is because we've worked so hard that when we try to stop, we hit a wall. We hit a state of boredom because all we know is output, 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 output. When we forget that we need input. Now, this input is the 2 steps back. This is taking an opportunity to look at our lives objectively as we were looking in the mirror. And this gives us that opportunity to recenter, to understand where we're at and understand where we're going. Now I say 2 steps back. We don't fall back. we just take 2 steps back in order to see the bigger picture, or we just look in the mirror, which allows us to take 10 steps forward. Because what happens is, without the mirror, you just do this in life. You're going up and you're going down. But what the mirror provides is it provides that stability, so you can take a step, 2 steps back, 10 steps forward, 2 steps back, 10 steps forward. You understand what I'm getting at here? Using this technique allows you to keep that momentum without burning out or without seeking external stimulation because you're bored, because the only thing that you know is work. I'm not saying work any less. I'm saying work smarter before you get to that point where you know you're going to burn out or you can sense it. Give yourself that rest. It's important. Realign. Give yourself an afternoon where you can be with yourself. And being with yourself, maybe going to the beach. Like recording these videos after I've been to the gym just makes me feel fulfilled. Like, I feel that I'm in alignment when I come into nature. Now, this just works for me. Your alignment may be reading a book, going to the gym. That's your 2 steps back. And then what we've done, once we've got that realignment and we've got a different perspective, because we've taken the opportunity to observe where we're at right now, then we can use the force, the power, and the energy that we've just cultivated from the 2 steps back in order to take us to 10 steps further trajectory into closer to where we're trying to get to. 2 steps back, full forward. If you're ready to follow through, links in the description.